You've been wondering why your trades take long to move out of the market, or what we can call floating or unrealized loss. You enter coin and then you spend a lot of time in that coin before it moves out. So please just stay tuned. Here are the answers, and here is how you're going to avoid to be in the market for so long. Okay, so before I can start, have you ever heard of something which is called DCA? This is the dollar cost average. It means that you're going to be injecting dollars, you're going to be injecting money into a trade which is already running. What is that going to help you? It's going to help you to bring your average closer to your current price, and once your average price is brought closer to your current price, it probably means that you're going to be out of that trade as soon as possible. But how are you going to do it? How is this going to work for you? The only difference which is there, the reason why for you always float, even when you try to inject money when the coin is dropping, here's the reason. The reason is that when you put your first buy to be maybe 500, you're going to be injecting in 10, maybe 5, okay? So this money you're putting into the market is too small to the money which is already in the market. Meaning that if you've been floating for something like 5% and then you inject in something like 5, it is not going to change something very big onto that floating you're having. It is either going to change something very small. Let's assume you've been having 5% floating, and then to just take you to 4, maybe 0.9. You're seeing that, meaning you've only reduced it by 1.5. So that is not going to help you. So I'm going to be showing you how you can reduce this 5% and you take it almost back to 0.5% of floating. This is how you're going to do it. I've brought for your strategy which is called double up strategy. What does that mean? That you're going to be doubling what you have already in the market. Let's assume you entered with 500. You entered with 500. In your next buy, you're supposed to get 1,000. Okay? This is the only way you can double up, and if you had a big floating loss, it's going to neutralize and it goes back to 0. So what does that mean? It means that as you're selecting your first buying amount, choose something you can be able to multiply, okay? Choose something you can be able to multiply or to double up. You're getting my point? In that, I don't expect you to be having maybe a capital of 600 and then you're putting something like 100 on your first buying amount. What does it mean? This 100, you can't double it in your first margin call. Therefore, you won't be able to neutralize that floating loss. So let me show how you're going to do it. This is the way you're going to do it. Just get something here. Let's assume you're having 600. As we have said, you're having 600. That is the capital you want to trade with, okay? Let me show you how you can use this capital and you don't float into the market. You just get out of the market as soon as possible and then you go and do other stuff, okay? So this is the way you're going to do it. We are going to get this 600 and then we put it into portions, okay? Now you see this. What if you make your first buying amount to be 20, okay? Meaning if you make your first buying amount to be 20, on your next buying amount, you're going to multiply this 20, okay? Let me just take you to the calculator so that you can be able to see what I'm trying to talk about. Where is my calculator? So we are here. What if you put 20 as your first buying amount? Then in the next call, you put there 40. You understand the point? 20 has been your first buying amount. Then on the next buy, you just multiply this 20 times 2. You're getting my point? You're going to get answer 40. Meaning your first buying amount, you have to make sure it takes in 40. Then after that 40, still you multiply it by 2. You're going to get 80. Meaning you have to make sure your second buying amount, it has to be entering 80 into the market. You're getting my point? After getting that 80, still times it by 2. Meaning your next buying amount has to take in 160. The more you keep on doing this, remember at first you added 20 into the market. Your coin floated like for 3%. After floating for 3%, you entered another 40. Remember, the market has been having 20, meaning you're doubling the money you've been having to the market. Now it is 40. When you make this 40, the floating which you had, which was 3%, it is going to turn and goes back to something like 0.5. I think that, meaning you're neutralizing what? You're neutralizing the floating loss you had. It's like you've just entered the coin. You're back onto the current price. Meaning that when you're back to 0.5, when this coin goes back and maybe goes and it climbs and raises for something like maybe 1.5, you get out of the market. Just never make your take profit to be so big. But I'm not yet I haven't reached on that point of take profit. So let's first finish this issue of the what? Of the margin calls. So I'm going to go back to our app, okay? So we are here. Remember, we have said that we are going to make our what? Our first buying amount to be 20. And after making it 20, we are going to come here on the margin call, on the margin configuration. And then we set our what? Our margin call drops and then the multiple buying ratio. Here's the thing. So after I've gone here, just make sure, just leave these settings the way they are. These are the default of ROIC we have. You guys don't think that these people sat down, they thought of this technology, this amazing AI, or what you can call a bot. And after that, they gave us default settings, and you think they were stupid. Just know that they thought and they planned how best their users can enjoy this bot so that they can also do what earn. So don't think that they put these things for formality. Please and please, let's stop making our drops very small. Because the more you make your drops very small, let's assume they are just 0.5, they are just 1, 0.5, and so on. At the end of the day, you're entering a lot of money into the coin, and yet in a very small drop. Let's assume you've entered something like, you've already entered something, the biggest capital of yours, you've entered it in just a drop of 4. You're getting my point? And then at the end of the day, the coin drops by 30%. This is how you wasted your money. So let's stop the habit of making the drops very small, okay? So I could advise you start with 3.5. The next drop, let it buy after dropping by 4. The next one after dropping by 4. Just leave these settings the way they are on the default. So just if your default is not like this, just take a screenshot, go and copy and paste. Okay? So my main interest is here. Remember, I used 20 as my first buying amount. So I'm going to use 20 times 2. 20 times 2, meaning on the first margin call I'm entering 40. 40 is doubling the 20 which is in the market, meaning if I had a floating of 3.5, this floating is going to go back to 0 point something, maybe 0.2, maybe 0.5. You're getting my point? After it has gone back, now it's like I've just entered into the coin. It's like I've just entered with on the current price. I'm not having any floating. I'm not going to say that now the coin has dropped by 3%. I might delay into the market. To get my point, I'm back onto the current price. Still, I wait when the coin drops by 4. Now, meaning right now, still my floating has gone back to 4%. Then I enter another. I get this for still. I times my first buying amount, which was 20, meaning I'm going to get 20 times 4, and I'm getting 80. Remember, currently we are having 40 into the market, meaning if I enter 80, I'm going to be doing what? I'm still doubling the 40 I have into the market. What does it mean? It means that this floating which I had, the one which is 4% now, it is going still to go back, and it makes maybe 0.5 or something. Are you seeing how I'm going back to the what? How I'm going back to the current price? Every time I keep on bringing my average closer to the current price, it helps me to get out of the market. Meaning that if the coin goes up, actually, before I can go any further, one thing I want to tell you, for the take profit we have agreed, just don't make a lot of big take profit. Just get something small out of the market and go enjoy. Go and sleep instead of waiting for the 3% or 4% or 5% and you spend 6 months into the market. Okay? So for me, if I go on correcting my 1.5, and I trade something like 10 coins at the end of the day, what take profit have I made? I'm having already 10% of my what? Of take profit. So just make sure that here you either use 1.3. I couldn't recommend you to go above 2. For my case, I only use 1.3 or 1.5. I don't exceed that. Okay? Meaning that if I'm here and this coin has gone back to 0.5, if it goes up by 1.5, I'll be out of the market. Are you seeing how I'm out of the market than the person? Now just imagine the person who has been dropping, now who has been dropping by 3.5 and then has 4. Now meaning this person is having a total of 7.5 drop. Okay? After having 7.5%, it means that this person has, even if the coin goes by 1.5, this person will still be in the market. Even if the coin climbs or raises by 3, this person will still be in the market. Even if the coin goes by 5%, this person will still be in the market because it has a very big floating loss. You have to first overcome this floating loss, and then you go and they give that person their take profit. Okay? Guys, I don't know whether you're getting my point, but just the moment you double what you have in the market, we go back to the current price. Your average is almost the same as your what? Your current. Not the same, but almost. Meaning that every time you double what you have into the market, you're neutralizing the what? You're neutralizing the floating loss. The floating loss is going to go back to zero. Something which was 3.5, it is going to go back to zero, maybe 0.1 or 0.2 or 0.3, something very small. So it is very easy for this coin to go up by a certain percentage. Let's assume 2%, and then you're out of the market. Are you seeing how easy you're going to get out of the market and you avoid floating? Meaning you're not going to slip into the market, because it is very rare to find a coin which is going to drop by maybe 5 or by 10% minus going up at least by 2 or by 1.5. Meaning for you, you're going to use advantage of those minor retracements. But this person who never doubled what they have into the market, who has been doing this, you having your first buy amount as 500, so you're entering 5 into the market, you're just something which was 3.5, it is going to go maybe to 3%. So you're already you're still having that big floating. When it goes, it adds on this other 4. Okay, and you have a tendency of putting here 0.5, 0.5, 0.5. Okay, so I don't know whether guys you understand this whole concept. I was just trying to explain how you can double wrap and then you neutralize your floating loss so that you don't delay into the market. We can enter the same coin. I enter with my strategy and then you enter with your strategy. And my friend, I tell you, I'll be out of that coin as soon as possible. Yet for you're going to spend there 6 months in that coin. Yet for me, I was able to enter it. We entered on the same price, but for me, I was able to get out of that coin in just a day. So just take a note. I'm going to be explaining more about this strategy till when you all understand it. Just make sure you like, subscribe, and then tap on the bell so that you can get the notification in case of anything new into the market. Okay, I'll be able to update you, I'll be able to teach you till when we grasp this concept, and then we can be able to enjoy this field. Otherwise, that is it for now. Bye bye.